Juliet Kinsman. I'm a luxury travel expert as a journalist and a broadcaster, and I have my own sustainability consultancy, Boutico. In many ways, I'm lucky enough to be able to say I don't have a typical day at work because I work across so many different projects and I get to travel so much. But really, a typical day involves my laptop and opening it for most of the day. That might be in a hotel lobby, or it could be overlooking a beach if I'm on a really good assignment, or it could just be at home with a cup of coffee from my kitchen working as a freelancer. So the best part of my job, without a doubt, is traveling. I mean, what a privilege to be able to go to some of the most beautiful hotels all over the world. So many of my friends might assume the best part of that is perhaps lying by a swimming pool, sipping a cocktail, or on the beach. Truth is, I never really get to do that part of it. But what I do get to do is meet the most inspiring, incredible people in hospitality, because really it's a people business. And it's not just the places I go to, it's the visionaries that I meet, people who are trying to make their businesses a positive force for good. Ever since I was teeny tiny, I've wanted to write. I guess I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be a writer. I've always loved telling stories, and I'm lucky enough to say that's always what I've done, I've ended up doing. So I might be telling stories in a newspaper or a magazine, now on social media. I love little micro stories on my Instagram, or it might be on the radio, or actually it might be working with brands, travel brands, to help them tell stories that inspire people, of course, to use their business, but really to educate and inform people around the good things that they're doing. So my first job, much like my job of reviewing luxury hotels, other people didn't see it as a real job. I was a dance music journalist. That meant I went to all the newest club nights, all the latest bars. But I have to say it was interesting because it was way back in the 90s, back when dance music was really becoming mainstream. And it was an exciting time because there was so much energy. And again, it was about meeting interesting people. But I have to say it was a very, very male industry. So male DJs, guys running the bars, the nightclubs, all of that. So you kind of stood out as a woman, which I felt meant you had to work that bit harder and you had to know your stuff that bit more. I think my greatest achievement professionally would have to be the day that the Mr. and Mrs. Smith Hotel Guidebook came out in 2003. That Christmas, it outsold Harry Potter in the busiest bookstore in London by Piccadilly Circus. That's a true story. So I would say that was definitely the greatest achievement. We went on to do a lot more guides, hotel guidebooks, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, now 17 years on, is probably the most respected boutique hotel booking platform and expert in the world. The best piece of advice I've ever been given was probably from my mum. Now, my mum died when I was 13, but it still stays with me, and she's still with me in my heart and head every day because she made me believe I could do and be whatever I wanted as long as I worked really, really hard to achieve that. I would say one of the most important personality traits, which I would really, really encourage people to focus on, is positivity. Now, it's something I've not always had, and that's why I know it's so important. There have been moments when I worry too much, stress too much. I could be negative, I could be critical, I could be self-critical. That's a really dangerous one. But positivity is when you really just try and see the good. You try and find solutions. You don't focus just on the problems. You look at challenges and find positive solutions. And you know what? You just bring a really good energy to any situation. So positivity is the most important trait for me.